Hi, this is Marumuthu Kandivadi. You are going to watch the live session of Environmental Management Plan Components. So, Environmental Management Plan is always very essential for any major construction and projects. So, the all major projects must have the environmental management plan. So EMP we are calling as a EMP. So environmental management plan. So what are the key components for this environmental management plan? The key components, once you know it, then only you can draft and you can make it and you can implement in all kinds of industries, because the safety and environment is integrated form, that is HSE, EHS, sustainability and ESG. So various forms now came. So the environmental management plan is always very essential for any constructions you have to submit. It's a statutory compliance, and also you have to make a EMP plan for clients, and it's a must for following the rules and regulations of EPA or pollution control boards or environmental statutory regulations and ISO 14001 standards. It's also required. So this environmental management plan key components, it's always to know the environmental aspects, impacts, how you are going to contain, what are the monitoring things done. So what is environmental aspect and what is environmental impact? So normally the environmental aspect, the what is the service and product, it's called the environmental aspect, and the outcome is environmental impact. When car cleaning company, the activity is cleaning the car. So that is the activity. In this, what is the environmental aspect? What is the environmental impact? The environmental aspect is to using the water. Usage of the water is the environmental aspect. Then what will be the environmental impact? The wastewater, and the wastewater using the chemical wastewater, that is the environmental impact. So the wastewater is an impact, and using the water is for servicing the cars is an environmental aspect. So based on this, we have to make it all these key components: environmental aspect, impact for every services. When using the any kind of product and services, that's called the environmental aspect. When outcome of the services and product is called the environmental impact. As I said, a cleaning company, how the water is used for cleaning purpose. Once water used, the usage of water itself an aspect, but what will be the end product? The wastewater with the chemical. So that is the water pollution. So water pollution is the wastewater and water pollution is the impact. So that will be the main thing. So here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The 7 key components are there for environmental management plan components, key components. So first, project descriptions on activities, timeline and scopes. First you have to describe what is the project, what is the life cycle of the project, whether it's oil and gas, manufacturing, constructions, what kind of activity, what are the things you are going to do. You will construct a building, or you will construct a yard, or you will construct an oil and gas refinery plant. So the project descriptions and the scope, what will be the scope? As I said, it's a manufacturing of what, or it's a construction work for oil and gas, construction work for a manufacturing plant. It's like that. So the activities, what kind of activities you are going to do? Like oil and gas refinery work means refinery work. The manufacturing means your steel plant means steel plant. So these are the things you have to start with the project description. Then number 2, identifying the environmental impacts. So you have to identify, summarize the all environmental impacts activity during the projects. So what are the different kinds of environmental impacts? Based on these activities, environmental aspect is there. In this, you have an environmental impact is there. So you have to identify what each, you have to list and identify the environmental impacts. 1, 2, 3, 4. For example, during the constructions, using the vehicles, air pollution. Then demolishing work and the various form of industrial activities, welding, grinding and cutting, then crane works. So lot of activities are there. These are all the activities. What will be the environmental impact? You have to list it. So each and every activities and its impacts, identifying and listing the environmental impact. So here also third also same. It says assessment and determination. So you have to first you have to identify the environmental impact. Then you have to assess and determine whether it's a significant or non-significant impact. Significant means high level of environmental impact to the atmosphere and all kinds of air, water, noise. So there is a standards are there. Noise means 80 decibel. Then above means it's a violation. It means called above the 80 decibel of noise is environmental major impact, significant impact. Then wastewater with the chemicals or hazardous waste means it's a significant impact. So you have to find out determine whether it's a significant impact or non-significant impact. Significant impact you have to determine and you have to make it rules. Then after determination, the fourth one is roles and responsibilities. So you have to make a roles and responsibilities for each impact. For example, for noise means who is take care. For air pollution means who is take care. Water pollution means who will take care. And then overall the environmental conditions, who is responsible? Waste management, who is established? Who is responsible? So these are the roles and responsibility defining and appointing the representative for each sections. As I said, air pollution, water pollution, then waste management, solid waste management, hazardous waste management. So these are the things you have to, roles and responsibilities, you have to appoint and define it, who is who for that. Then fifth one is you have to monitoring, you have to make a monitoring plan, because you already have determined the environmental impacts, and then significant environmental impact you already listed. In that list, what you have to do, you already appointed who is going to care about the water pollution, who is going to care about the noise pollution, like that, waste management. Then now the monitoring plan, how you are going to monitor air pollution through air monitoring, air modules or air stack monitorings or mobile unit. What kind of things you are going to monitor? Wastewater means how you are going to monitor. Raw water means how you are going to monitor. Then sound noise pollution means how you are going to monitor. So the monitoring the plan, establish and make a plan for monitoring matters, implementation and monitoring how frequently you are going to monitor, who is responsible for the monitoring purpose, and what are the reports for weekly, monthly or 15 days or 3 months once. So these are the reports, how frequently you have to submit. So these are the things are there in the monitoring plan. So you have to make a monitoring plan for this environmental management plan. Key components it also comes. Then the sixth one is reporting and documentation. In this there should be a transparency is there. You should not hide anything because environmental is always environmental. In that case you have to make a transparency in that reports. When you have a proper transparency report, then only you can success. So that's why here the reporting of monitoring statistics like wastewater treatment, wastewater reports, and then noise monitoring reports, air pollution monitoring report, and then any kind of soil reports, and waste management report, hazardous waste management report. So these reports and documentation is always there for weekly, monthly, and then 3 months, 6 months, yearly. So based on that you have to make a reports. These reports must be, you have to send a copy to the compliance authority like environmental protection authority, pollution control board, local authorities, and auditor. For auditors you can show it to the auditors for auditing purpose. So here the local authorities and international local and worldwide there is a standard is there. You have to follow that standard. You have to comply that one, especially the countries whichever country it may be, in that country's EPA, environmental protection authorities or pollution control boards or environmental ministries, the reports are there. In that report you have to submit. So that is the monitoring plans. Next one is reporting and documentation. Then how frequently you are documenting and submitting is important. Then seventh one is stakeholder. So you have to make a stakeholder showing this environmental impact management plan to the stakeholders. So whichever company or big organizations, they have always stakeholders are there. So you have to show it, report to the stakeholder. You are not violating the environment and you are saving the environment. These organizations always keen to save the environment. That's why the stakeholders itself, their improvement, you have to show it continual improvement and how you are improving through the environmental management key components, saying that how you are improving the environmental systems. So that's important. So this is the life cycle of key components. These key components very important for the any kind of environmental management plan. This environmental management plan, when you are preparing for that plan must contain these kind of 7 key components. These key components you have to make it, and this key components is always very essential to make a plan and exhibit in front of the compliance authorities, in front of the clients, in front of the statutory compliance. Statutory compliance means EAA and pollution control boards. So major or minor, the projects, the environmental projects always required a proper environmental management plan. These 7 components is very essential for any kind of environmental management plan. So when you are preparing for a documentation, you have to have started with the project description, activities and the scope, everything was there. Then identifying the environmental impacts. And then third one, identifying environmental impact for assessment, determining the controls, and you have to determine which is significant or non-significant. In that significant, you have to put the controls. Then fourth one, roles and responsibility for the environmental aspects. Who is going to take care these environmental aspects and impacts? Especially impacts, we can say. Then fifth one is monitoring plan. Air pollution means who is monitoring. Then land pollution means who is monitoring. Soil pollution means who is monitoring. Then waste management who is monitoring. Hazardous waste management who is monitoring. So these monitoring plan must be there. Whether it's a weekly once what you are going to give the report, then 15 days what report you will give, monitoring report, and then yearly, monthly what report you will give, 3 months once what report you will give, yearly what report you will give. So this is the monitoring plan, because the weekly one time air monitoring, weekly one time noise monitoring, weekly one time waste management monitoring. So these things are there. Then next one is roles, reporting and documentation. So reporting means so how should you report and what way you will report, what are the things are there in that report you have to mention. Then you have to stakeholder report. This report is always must to this report you have to give with the stakeholder important, because sometimes not only stakeholder but also the statutory or legal authorities also you have to give the report of EMP there, whether it's all meeting the proper environmental references, standards, that you must know it. So this is way how the 7 key components there in the environmental management plan. These 7 components is must for making the any kind of environmental management plan. So thanks for watching the environmental management plan. I hope you understand. So you have any doubts, you just give a comments in this. So if still you didn't subscribe it, like it and share it. If you have any doubt, always welcome. So we have a subsequent classes are there, live sessions are there. Don't miss it. Thank you.